Hey guys, how's it going? Previously on the channel we had the 68 112. We had the engine pulled out of it. We were working on another engine for it. Decided on a motor that I had. It was a 12 horse Kohler that needed rebuilt. It actually was rebuilt, but it got put in the patio. It was supposed to go into the patio, but it had a couple issues with it, so I just said, you know what, I'm done. So I pulled it back out to pull it apart, and I guess I just kind of drifted away from it for about a month or two. I made the executive decision to go on ahead and just put this engine with this tractor, because that's a 12 horse Kohler. This is a 112. This right here is a 112 as well. It's got a 12 horse Kohler in it. That had a 10 horse in it previously, which 68 would have had, but the 10 horse didn't really have all the power that it needed. And there is a couple reasons why, and I will show them later on. But I decided I'd go on ahead and put the rebuilt 12 horse Kohler on the 68. Now I was going to put it on the 73, but plan changed, probably for the better, because that motor does pretty good, and that would put the 73 out of commission for a while. I'm not sure where that motor would end up, whether it would end up on the patio or the 68 in that situation, but it would probably end up on the 68. So I decided, since the patio probably really wasn't going to get used all that much, to go on ahead and put the rebuilt engine on the 68, because I do use the 68. It plows snow, and it's probably going to end up mowing the yard a little bit this summer. This did mow the yard before, but that engine it had in it burned so much oil, and it really didn't run very well either. There was no point in fooling with it. Now, I am going to start this up for you guys later. One problem that I had with this engine, was where the camshaft goes in, there's a little I'm going to call it a dowel rod. It's just a long rod. It's like a point splunger, and it goes in there and holds the camshaft in. And back here where it goes in, there was a gap. I'm guessing for whatever reason oil was getting around that camshaft. So what I did was I took a piece of fuel line, I stuck a bolt in it. I think you can see it. I stuck a bolt in it and I hammered it in there. I cooled the fuel line down, that way it would shrink, and I put it in there. I hammered it. I was very gentle with it, and I got it in there to the point where it stopped. And now it doesn't blow oil out anymore. There is oil under it still, but that's from oil doesn't go away very fast, and that is a little bit that's still on the engine. I have been checking it, however, though, and there is no more oil, so that should be gone here soon. Now, on with the 12 horse. So I'm sure you guys are probably wondering, well, what's going to take the place of the 12 horse, this 10 horse? This is a Kohler K241. This engine came with the 71 112 that I have right there. I've had this engine around here for, I think, a year or two now, as long as I've had this tractor. This tractor was a parts donor for the 68, hence the Kohler engine that it got. And I had that engine on there for a while until it started having, well, I started using it more and it started having problems. The head gasket, I think I have reason and suspicion it is blowing, as you can see, judging by all that blow by right there, and the fact it had little to no power going uphill or doing much of anything, and the engine kind of liked to run away. So that was another reason I had. I think the carburetor is junk. That carburetor's on the 12 horse right now. I am going to probably end up replacing it, because it makes that engine run lean. When I say run lean, I mean makes it blow fire out the exhaust. I have adjusted the valves on it, and everyone just told me your engine's probably running lean and you probably need a new carburetor for it. I still have been running it. It's been running fine with that carburetor, but I don't run it over half throttle, because if I go over half throttle with it, it starts blowing flames out. So that's what I'm going to do for now. I'm just going to take it easy on that motor. It really shouldn't be over full throttle anyway right now while it's being broken in. It is still being broken in, by the way. I haven't completely broke it in yet. I'd say I've probably only put about 50 hours on that motor since it's been put in there, which is probably about enough, but then there's this engine right here. It's got that blowing head gasket like I was telling you about. Needs new rings, it burns oil. I've had a suspicion it could just be the head gasket that's causing it to burn oil. Valves on it I'd suppose need adjusted. It's got a couple gaskets on it that leak. I'm almost tempted just to order a rebuild kit for it. New points. I'd like to find a starter for it. I don't have a starter at the moment to put on this engine. And with all the grease and grime on this motor, it's not going to go in the patio anytime soon. So I've got to decide what I'm going to do with it. It is going in the patio though. I can assure you guys that I am going to end up rebuilding it. Do keep an eye out for a video of us rebuilding this engine. By us, I mean you and me. You guys are going to watch. You're going to be my supervisors while I rebuild this motor. Gonna get a rebuild kit. I'm not sure if I'm just going to get rings and head gasket or a whole rebuild kit and redo this whole engine. Tear it apart. Don't do the bore or anything depending on how the bore looks, but maybe, I don't know, adjust the valves and redo some of the gaskets, put new seals on it, because I imagine the seals on this are probably leaking, and all the gaskets too, hint all the oil that's all over it. Now it could just be from that head gasket at the same time, or from, well, I'm not quite sure where it could be from. So this engine will be going into the patio. For those of you wondering, I'm going to be on a parts search for parts right now, so it's not going to be anytime soon. I'm going to put a pile of parts for that motor. I do have a couple fuel pumps though. This one here has a bad bottom, this one here has a bad top. I'm going to swap this bottom with this bottom here, put it on this fuel pump, and put that junk fuel pump I've pulled apart, those two pieces probably together, and do something with that. So that's where we're at right now. I'd take this out and do some filming, but it's pretty windy out right now, and I really don't know if I have anything to do with it with the snowplow on the front. We could drag some logs around with it, I guess, but I don't have any I need to drag. Or I guess just take it out and drive it around a little bit. Not going to be a very special video today. It's just going to be, I have another project I'm working on. I don't know if it's going to be done by Sunday or not. And I'm sure you guys are probably wondering what it is. Plan is I am going to make, since I can't do anything with this and I've already got all the parts to do it, I'm going to go on ahead and make a 110. That 110 that I was talking about in the last video. And I know you guys really want to see the patio run. I do too. And I really, honest to God, wasn't planning on getting it running. But I decided you guys wanted it. I imagine you guys wanted to see it run. So we're going to get it running. But I'm going to hold off on it right now until I can get the water going out here. It is below freezing right now, so I'm not going to turn the water on just yet. Once I can, I'm going to wash this engine off. I am going to replace the head gasket. I'm probably going to end up doing the rings as well. This motor will be getting some attention done here soon, and it will be on video. This engine here, I know I said I was going to put this in the 200 that I wanted to build, but I've done some thinking, and I don't know if I want to do that right now or not. Reason being, I really don't have enough parts to get the 200 running. That, and I don't have a tag for one, and I don't have a hood. I also don't have another starter. This engine will be perfect for that because it can take a fuel pump. But right now I'm not quite sure. I did do a video on fixing this motor. I need to upload it actually and get it put together. But just so you guys know, that is the plan. I think that is just about it. So I am going to end up doing the 110 A buddy of mine acquired a whole bunch of 110s recently, and ever since then I've kind of wanted to build one myself. Here's another engine, an 8-horse Kohler. I was thinking about putting this motor on the 110, but I don't have another starter for it. So that one's not going to go on the 110 just yet. I'm going to hold off on that for now. So there you go, just updates for you guys. That, and I don't have another one of these shrouds that has the port on it for a starter, as you can see. I can come over here and probably grab one of these Tecumseh shrouds, but I don't think that would look very good on a 100 series or a 110 with an 8-horse. So it would fit. I've done it before. It'll fit. So that's where I'm at right now. I will go on ahead and start that 68 up for you guys so you can listen to it. It's running good. After it started getting some more hours on it, it started running a lot better. I did replace the starter on it because that starter it had on it was weak and wasn't able to turn the engine over very well. I just put another starter I had around here on it. It came off of a 140. The 140 that was here is the starter it came off of. I ended up having to put a new starter on that. The gear ended up slipping. It must have got oil in it or something. So it started slipping around and wouldn't turn the engine over. So I swapped the gear and I threw it on this engine, and it's been turning it over ever since. This is nice compared to the 73 to get to the starter. I don't even have to pull the engine. From the other side I can get to the starter. Look at how much, you can't see it because of that cover, but look how much room there is. I pulled the starter out and I put the new one on it with it still on the engine, with the engine still in the tractor. This one you can't. On the 73 you can't, and I'll show you why. I guess you could get to it if you did it from the front, but from the back you can't get to it at all because the, well, right there you can see the starter's in the frame. You really couldn't get a wrench back here too easily, so I always just pull it out of the tractor. The engine always comes out of the tractor, and that's the way that I do it. The 216, I've never had to change the starter on it. It's got the same starter it's had on it since I bought it, so that one I'm not worried about. That one shouldn't be too hard to get to either, I don't think. I think that's got the 2-piece engine cradle on it, and if it does, then it's up a lot higher than this one is. That's got the 1-piece cradle. That one doesn't have a cradle, it just sits on the frame. And I'll show you what it looks like. This here, you can see, that's about identical to what it looks like, except for that hole's a lot neater than the one is in the 68. It just bolts right to the frame. So this is the pile of stuff I've been sweeping up. I've been cleaning it up out here. So let's go on ahead, start the 68. We'll try to take it outside and we'll drive around on it a little bit and just kind of show you guys it running. Another thing we're going to have to do is put another choke cable on it. The choke cable that's on it broke, so you can't choke the engine no more, but I didn't ever need to, so I'm not too worried about it. You guys see it still runs. I know I've got the wrong blade on it for this, but let's see if we can tidy this up a little bit. I'd bring the 73 out, but I want to show you guys the 68 and how it does. I think that transmission needs some help also, so we'll be looking at that probably later. Well guys, I know we didn't do much in this video. We just kind of took the 68 out and moved a few things. I did do some stuff off camera with it, not a lot, just kind of took it around the shop. Fixed a little bit of the driveway too, not very much. Like I said though, it is running real good. Having a problem with the transmission. I've had it ever since I got it, but I've never really fooled with it. The transmission's got new oil in it, so I'm not going to replace it. For whatever reason, when you're in third gear, for a while, it won't want to shift out of third gear. You go in out of third gear, it goes into neutral. You can't go into fourth, you can't go up. It's stuck right where it is. You got to fight with it a little bit to get it to start moving again. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. It'll go from, it's in neutral right now. You shift into third gear, you come out, you can't go into that gear, you can't go up, go this way, that way, this way, that way, and fight it until it decides it wants to let you go up. But I had it happen a couple times when I came out of a gear. I'd have it in neutral and you would hear the belt start to slip. I'm not quite sure what the deal is with it, and it also gets kind of hard to push when that happens. It seems like it's going into two gears. It's trying to go into reverse and it's trying to go into second gear. What the deal is with it, I'm not sure, but this thing needs some transmission work. And I also think it needs a new regulator. It probably just needs a new voltmeter. But I think it needs a new regulator because the voltage always skyrockets, apparently, according to that voltmeter. Which, it's been starting and running fine, so I don't think that's the case unless something in there is messed up and I need to look at it. But transmission's on the list. It's been doing that for a while, and at this point I've just kind of gotten tired of it happening, so I think I'm going to go on ahead and do something about it. So with that being said, I think that is where I'm going to end the video. Engine is still full of oil. I have been checking it lately. It's still clean. It's not dirty at all. It's still clean. It's still hard to see. So the engine's pretty clean inside. So I think that is it. I know we didn't do very much in this video, but it was something at least. You guys got to see the 68 go out and run. It still runs. It's not giving me any problems right now yet. So Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Like I said though before, it will be a little while before you guys see another video on the patio. I don't know about that 110 I was talking about. I need to go through and see what all I've got for the 100 series, but I pretty much have everything I would need for that. Plus the tractor up front. I don't know what I'm going to do with that 112 around back. Speaking of that 112, I should make a video on it and show you guys that. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.